Hello there, I am Fernanda Paiva, hitchhiking stars and bringing you some more information about the lunation, some more insights, so you can make the most of it, so you can work with these energies, you can practice self-cultivation by looking at the sky in a symbolic way. So, today we're going to be talking about the new moon, so the coming new moon, which will be happening on the 16th of May. And this new moon is happening at 25 degrees Taurus. So very earthy Taurian new moon after a really intense new moon in Aries that had a huge stellium in Aries, a lot of planets in Aries really pushing that energy forward. We have a new moon in Taurus. So a very, earthy, slower, and ruled by Venus as well. So a sign that's ruled by Venus. Now, what we're going to do, as usual, look at the chart, look at the configurations. What are they saying? What are they pointing out in connection to this new lunar cycle? And the aspects that we see there, and then the Sabian symbol, and then I'll mention the tarot cards in connection to this new moon, and use those as an inspiration, as an imagery for the new moon. So 25 degrees Taurus, powerful new moon. Now, this new moon seems to be slowing things down a little bit. If we've been really on a, on a fast lane, I think this new moon can help us slow things down a little bit. And a new moon in Taurus will be giving us an opportunity here, just talking in general, as a new lunar cycle in that sign, is really giving us the opportunity to connect to our bodies, to connect with our values. What's truly important to us? What do we really value the most? I think with the new moon in Aries that we've, the lunar cycle that we've gone through, there was a huge emphasis in Mars, right? The big stellium in Aries and the new moon was ruled by Mars, which was in Aries. Then we had the full moon in Scorpio, which was also traditionally ruled by Mars. So he brought that energy of Mars again. And now we have a new moon that's being ruled by Venus. So a slightly shift of energies here. And Venus, the ruler of this new moon, is in Gemini during this new moon. So there's something about communicating what our values are, communicating what's important to us. And even we can think about that communication internally. I love to think about it in this way as well. Like, how are we forming a bridge between the, Venus and Mars energy, right? We have that intense focus on Mars and healing our ability to take action, our ability to connect with our drive, with our libido, with the inner warrior. Now with the Taurus new moon and Venus in Gemini here, we have the possibility to bridge that integration with the other side as well, with a more receptive, with a bit of slower, with a bit of a responsive side, right? We respond to situations rather than just take action first thing. Venus in Gemini is forming a sextile, so a harmonious dialogue here with Mars, which again points out to that sense of bridging, that sense of finding balance, finding dialogue between masculine and feminine. And another thing that's really catching my attention, once more we have a planet conjoined Chiron while we're having these lunations. So during the full moon in Scorpio, we had Mercury Chiron conjoined. Now we have Mars Chiron conjoined at 28 degrees Aries. And again, it's the very same pretty much very close to the degree of that last new moon. So those themes are lingering. They're not fully gone. They're not fully resolved. So we're still working with that. And Mars now being conjoined Chiron, we're definitely healing anything that has to do with Mars, anything that has to do with action taking, with drive, with courage, with the warrior within us, right? So perhaps with decelerating a little bit, slowing down a little bit, and reflecting a little bit more. So one of the main aspects here that the new moon is making is a sextile to Jupiter. So again, the feeling of Jupiter in Cancer, enhancing something, expanding something. So our connection to the feminine principle here could really be expanding during this lunar cycle. Really embracing nature, really embracing our bodies, our instincts, and that side of life, and of our essence as well. So that sextile is the other aspect that's very important. The new moon is not too far from Mercury as well, and I think what that could be telling us is that we're going to be, our minds are going to be directed in that, towards those questions. How can we bring more beauty into our lives? How can we embrace our own beauty? How can we have more pleasure, right? Taurus is ruled by Venus, and it does make me think of the Empress. And Venus, in fact, is in a mutual reception with Mercury. So we have Venus in Gemini, Mercury in Taurus. So they're in each other's sign, and that does give us a little bit of a superpower, like a secret superpower, to connect those two principles. So our ability to feel pleasure, to experience pleasure, and our minds, and how we think and how we communicate as well. So this new moon could really bring that to the forefront. The beautiful, the opposite of mass produced, things that are really made to order. That, I don't know, I think of Taurus, I think of a furniture designer, and that obviously doesn't have to be exactly that, but think as an imagery. I think of a furniture designer, someone that's making something to order, that's unique, and that will last a very long time. And I think this new moon is giving us the opportunity to furnish our hearts, to make those furnitures from scratch and take our time with it. So there's a possibility here of healing. Now, the Sabian symbol for this new moon. So the Sabian symbol is a Spanish gallant serenades his beloved. So there's a bit of a love kind of story, or love scenario, beauty, music, right? A gallant as well. It's not just any person. It's a gallant. And it's not just a gallant, it's a Spanish gallant. So I've got a sense of, the Latin blood. I've got a sense of passion, reconnecting with our passion, reconnecting with what we love, and beauty in general. This month could be super healing to just slow down, spend more time in nature, play music, paint, maybe make furnitures if that's something you can do it as well. But there is a real connection here of passion, love, values, valuing, music and beauty. So there's something here in this new moon. Now, in terms of the tarot cards, what we have connected to Taurus is the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is a card associated with Taurus. And in the minor arcana cards, we have the 5, the 6, and the 7th. So those three cards are associated, and I mean the 5, 6, and 7 of Pentacles. They are associated with Taurus. And what I like about them, the 5, 6, and 7, is a progression here of cultivation, self-cultivation, that we can think and we can use these cards to focus on when we are making our intentions, setting our intentions for this new lunar cycle. So that's it. I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys have a wonderful, beautiful new moon in Taurus, that you can really embrace beauty in various ways. And take care, and I'll be speaking to you all soon. So bye bye for now.